Hey everyone. Completely ignore the mess back here. It's my eBay store, so we just want to talk about what's behind me. But anyway, welcome to. I know y'all can't see my eyes because of the glare. The very first. I'm still not sure what I'm going to call it yet. I'm working on that. But Vietnam Video Memorial Series. I'm just throwing that out there. I don't really know exactly what I'm going to call it, but I did some more writing today. I did an introduction video earlier on here, but I did some more writing today. I think I was on like 108. Let's see what I'm up to now. Um, I'm I'm only 2 pages in of the 58,000 names, and I am on number 152. I just finished 152 of 58,000, so I have a very long way to go. Let me get this mic up here so I can look up a little bit more. Hopefully, it's not making a lot of noise. But like I said, introduction video, I'll kind of go over the small key reasons why I'm doing this. I was watching a video on YouTube, and I was watching a guy do video. He was in um, Arlington, and he was walking around, and he was doing major military name graves, like Major, General, Admiral. And I don't know if he did more. I don't know. I only watched one video, so I'm not gonna knock the guy. He could have been doing many of them, but I just seen that one video, and I thought to myself, why couldn't we do ones for private first class, sergeant, staff sergeant, the heart and soul of the military. So I started to look at Arlington, and it was very difficult. You have to get on this app, and it's very difficult to do all these graves. There's a lot of graves, and then it hit me. I've been to Arlington and Washington twice, and I've been to the Vietnam Wall Memorial. If you haven't went, you need to go. It's a really awesome thing to see. But I realized there's a book. I remember there was a book because I was looking for family on there. There's a book when you first get there. You open it up, and it's got all 58,000 names. I'm going to show you guys a picture of that. It's got all 58,000 names um, already right there for you. And all you have to do is look at them. It's on Google Books. Can you see it through the glare? Hold on. There we go. It's on Google Books, and it has every single name, A through Z, their rank, their service, their date of birth, the casualty, the state they were from, and where they're at located on the wall. It's already all there, all the books. So I just went off this and I started with A. The very first name on there is Aadland. So Adland, Gerald Adland. So I just started at the beginning and I said, I'm going to check this out. Well, as I was doing the research, I found there was a website called, I want to make sure I get these citations correctly. The Wall of Faces. This is the Wall of Faces. It has you just type in the name that comes off the list, has every single person's picture. It gives where they were from when when they passed. Get that right there. Where they're from. See that? And every single name that I've done and typed in, they're all on here. Every single one of them, and they have the pictures. So I screenshot all the pictures of the ones I've done, all 152, and then I go to a great website called findagrave.com. When you go to findagrave.com and type in their name, and if sometimes it's hard to get one because there's a lot of people's graves on there. Sometimes you have to type in the casualty year and the year of birth. But it gives you a monument, which someone, they automatically did it for the military, and then it gives you one the family did, which usually is where the information's at. So I'll go on there, and that's where I get my information. And sometimes if there's no info on there, which there has been one of every 15, I go to just Google search and I get all kinds of websites. Honorstates.com, militaryyhonors.com, medalofhonor.com. I mean, there's all kinds of websites. WikiTree. I mean, Vietnam. Let's see. Trying to look up TogetherWeServe.com. I'm just giving you guys some of the names of the ones that you can go to if you want to look them up. TheVirtualWall.com. That's where the pictures are. I'm sorry. Veterans Honor Banner Project. I mean, there's all kinds of different ones. I don't want to keep going on that, but I wanted to explain how I feel about why I'm doing this. It starts off with myself. Like I always feel like when I pass one day, I'll get a military burial. I'll get a plot here in my local town next to my family. My kids will visit me, then my grandkids, and then the great grandkids, and then eventually I'll get lost. You know what I mean? Like there's graves that's from 1800 something that no one knows, no one visits, no one goes to. I don't want to be lost. I want people to always remember me. So basically, the name's right there on the wall. You can see them. You can see their name, but that doesn't tell you anything about them. There's no information in there. 90% of them, 95% of them are not buried in Arlington. They're buried in their local town cemeteries, and only the family, and it's been what, 50, 60 years, 70 years, 60, 70 years. Only the family remembers them, and that's been generations ago. So who remembers these people? By now, no one. That's not right. These were war heroes, especially they are the ones that lived, came over here and had a hard enough time. We should honor the ones that passed. So I decided to go on every single one of them, 1 through 58,000, whatever. It's 58,000 plus. I don't know the exact number, but I know it's 58,000 plus. And I basically wrote down their name, the rank, their name, where they was born, when they was born, when they passed, where they passed, who they served with, how they passed, and where you can find them on the wall. If I'm saying someone's family member, I want you to be able to go look. You can go look on those websites I cited, or you can go to the wall yourself in Vietnam and look them up. You can do that thing. You can request a thing where they pencil the name, take a piece of paper up against it, and they scratch a pencil on it, and then they'll send it to you. So I took it upon myself to do the research. Technically, everyone else did the research. I just wrote it down, but technically, I'm still doing research. I'm just researching everyone else's research, so you don't have to. And if you love history, and if you love our veterans, and you love our military, and you want to honor them like I want to, follow these video series along with me, and I'm going to go through every single name, show you what they look like, tell you their story. Some don't have any information as much as I searched. Some have amazing stories, a lot of stories of honor and courage. Some are absolutely horrible. There's some that still hurt me when I read them, of how they died and why they died, and they should not have died. 25% for sure by friendly fire, but anyway, we'll get into that. I want you guys to follow along with me. And in these video series, this is video 1. Technically, the introduction was earlier today. This is video 1. And my YouTube is going to be sections. They're going to be Vietnam A. All the videos that are A are going to be in there, and then B. That way, if you want to come on here and find your family member D, you can go look in the D section and go find your family member. It's going to try to make it at least down to 26 alphabetic letters. And I did the math. I don't know how many we're going to do. This is a test run. This is the very first episode. I don't know if I'm going to do 10, 20, 30, 40. I don't know. But I did the math. About 20-ish times divided by 58,000-ish comes out to like 4,400, 45, 4,600, something like that videos. That's a lot of videos. So I may do more than 20. It takes a long time to do this research. I started on Friday, not working 24 hours a day, but I put a couple hours in each day, probably 4 or 5 hours a day. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So 4 or 5 days just to get to 150 too. So it takes me a while. And I ain't going to do these videos every day. I'm going to need time to write these down. So I might do 1 a week, maybe 2 a week. I don't know yet. Depends on how popular it gets. And I didn't say this in the introduction because I messed up. There's 2 things I missed. One is I was trying to explain where I served. It was Operation Iraqi Freedom and Enduring Freedom, which I got commendation medals from. I forgot that. So I put it in the text part of the video because I just completely, it's been 21 years since I've been out. I just completely forgot. I know them, I just didn't know them at the moment. And what the heck was the second thing I was about to say? I got the really, really good stories. I'm going to do separate podcast, not on YouTube. I have a podcast through Spotify. Me and Travis are going to. He's military. He's also loves the military. We're going to pick the specific ones, tragic and heroic, and I'm going to star them, and we're going to do a podcast talking about them, like our feelings. This is just a read basically here. I'm going to give some of my feelings, but we're going to get deeper into it in the podcast. That's going to come in the future. It's not happening right now, but I want to get a few good videos in, and we're going to work on some podcasts. So that's going to come too. So this is video 1. Like I said, it's 10 minutes in. I ain't even started, but that's a main introduction. I will still do a small introduction per video, but I see that it takes 10 minutes to at least get an introduction. So we might get at least, I'm going to try and shoot for 20 If we get that, that's great. If we get less, that's okay. If we get more, that's even better for me. It just means I got to do research faster. So I just basically, like I said, picked up the book and started with the first name. I have them all wrote on here in terrible handwriting, so bear with me on my writing. Not the greatest in the world, especially all my eBay stuff back here. And I have a picture of every single one of them because, like I said, every one of them has a picture on that website, so you can easily get their picture. It's right there. So let me bring up my pictures so I can get off that website because I'm not using that tonight. And I can get off the Vietnam list. All I need to do is go to my gallery. There it is, and we're going to start the very first, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I was doing like crazy pictures. It was not. I was using the computer, my computer I'm on now. So the first like 10 is not really good photos. I cropped them as best I can, but then I started doing it on my phone when I went home this weekend because I don't have the laptop, the PC at home, and I took screenshots. So they are a lot better quality, but it doesn't matter as long as they're on there. So that's the best I can do. So bear with me on the first 8, 9, 10. Okay, so we're going to start with the very first person. It's SP4 Gerald Lloyd Jerry Adeland. If I say the name's wrong or the name's in Vietnam or they died wrong, I'm so sorry. I'll do my best. Even the way they do these in the Navy, we just had like aviation ordnancemen. That's what I was. I was on, the USS Essex. Easy stuff. But these Marines, they have so many divisions and infantries and battalions. I don't understand a lot of them because I wasn't in that service, but I will do my best. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the picture of the very first one so you guys can put a face with the name in the story, not just the story. But this is what he looks like. I know this, like I said, the first pictures are not going to be very good. I did the best I could. But there's Gerald Lloyd Jerry Adeland. All right, here's what I got wrote. We're going to learn from together about their life. So hopefully they're not forgotten. So wherever they're at, in heaven or wherever, and floating, it doesn't matter. Wherever they're at, I hope they understand someone's thinking about them and we're remembering them. And I hope the family remembers. Hopefully some of the family will be like, hey, that's my grandpa. Okay, so SP4 Gerald Lloyd Jerry. Did I say Jerry? Jerry Adeland. Hold on. One other thing. Also, when I get done with the Vietnam, we're going to go to start on Arlington, and I'm going to go through the whole place, not just military. Everyone needs to be respected there, and then we'll move on to other places. But anyway, SP4 Gerald Lloyd Terry Adeland. He was born March the 29th, 1945, in South Dakota, Sisseton, Sisseton, Sisseton. Some of the information is not all there. I only got what I've got. Sometimes there's going to be question marks and things like that, and little notes I put in. He died May 30th. This is what's crazy. The very first person. In 1968, he was 23. He died the day after his birthday. Born March 29th, 1945. Died May. I'm sorry, I thought it was the same month. Never mind. March 29th, he died May 30th. I don't know why I thought it was the same month. It looks the same on paper. He died May 30th, 1968. He was 23 in Con Tum, Vietnam. Close as I can get. He served in the 3rd Battalion, 12th Infantry, 4th Infantry Division. He was KOA. They're supposed to say KIA. I don't know why I wrote an O. I'm thinking of a campground, I guess. He was killed by small arms fire. Now, if you want to find him, he is on panel 63W, line number 14. And you can look him up on anything, these veterans things, websites, or you can go look yourself in you guys need to go visit the Vietnam. I mean, Arlington is the main attraction, obviously, but you guys need to go check out this awesome memorial too. So we're 15 minutes in. I've only read one, and I do a lot of jibber jabber, so we're gonna be lucky to get 20. But I'm gonna try and keep it within an hour. So whatever we get when we get to an hour, we'll go with that. If my computer lets me record that long, whenever it cuts me off, I guess I'm done. Okay, let's go straight to number 2. This is there's a lot of same names, a lot of last names that are same. All right, this is this picture right here. Come on, camera. James Downing, Alund, Alund, James. I'm not making fun. I'm trying my hardest. I know it sounds funny me trying to pronounce it, but I'm really trying. Sergeant James Downing Alund, I think. Born May the 11th, 1945, in Houston, Texas. He died February 28, 1970. He was 24 in Phang Long, Vietnam. He was brought up from selective service. He was in the 1st Cavalry Division, AMRL. There was a lot of these selective service, so I quit writing that. I mean, a lot was brought up in that lottery. If you guys don't know about the lottery, yeah, that'll be another separate video. I can go check that out. But the people that are my age, or 40, 41, I'm about to be 42, 41 and older, understand the lottery. Died by artillery, rocket, or mortar. His younger brother was also killed in Vietnam. See, if I find little tidbits in there, I write them in because that's important to know. His brother also was killed in Vietnam, and he is on panel 13W, line 66, if you want to look him up. We're thinking about you, James. All these people, I'm not going to say that every time, but we are thinking about you. All right, number 3. Some of these pictures, these kids, I know these pictures are probably when they was in teenagers, a lot of them when they was in school. They're not like military pictures. Like this one's probably a kid hanging tobacco is what it looks like. So a lot of these look really young, and they probably are. I mean, a lot of them are 18, 19, 20 years old. See how young he looks? Looks like he's in a tobacco barn. So this might be pre-military. All right, this is number 3. This is A1C, Daniel Lawrence Amold, AAMOLD, Amold, born August 23rd, 1951 in Clay County, Minnesota. He died August 20th, 3 days before his birthday. I got this one correct. 1970, he was 18, so he was 3 days from turning 19. He was killed in NANH, Ninh Thuan, Vietnam. I'm probably destroying that. He was an airman first class, 435th MM Squadron, 35th TAC Fire Wing, 7th Air Force 7th Air Force. Non-combat related death. Yeah, I wrote 3 days before his birthday. That was in my notes. But he died non-combat related death. That's all they give me. When I get to some of these, hopefully I can see ahead a little bit because they're heartbreakers. Like I said, I still can't get over. Out of these 100 and something, I remember 4 vividly already that I still are mad about and still can't stop thinking about. That's why I'm so glad to do this. I get so excited doing these that I want to keep going. I don't want to stop writing because I want to know something about every one of these guys. All right, let's go to number 4. Come on, camera. My camera is backwards, so I'm trying to tilt like the opposite direction. It's hard to do everything. That's like playing. See the guy's picture? It's like playing inverted on a controller. You guys know what I mean. You go down is up and up is down. It's backwards. Okay, James. This is a Lance Corporal James Raymond Jim, or AARDE, or ARD, I don't know. Born June the 8th, 3 days after my birthday, 1944 in Olympia, Washington. He died December 29th, 1966. He was 22 in Quang Tri, Vietnam. There's a lot of Quang Tris in here, so that must have been a huge battle. A lot of them. He was in the 3rd Battalion, 12th Marine Division. He was killed by hostile fire. This was a sad one. He was killed by hostile fire, but his wife gave birth to a daughter right after he left. That one hit me. That was one. That's not the ones I've been talking about. This is a different one. But he knew he knew he had a baby, but his wife gave birth right after he left. So at least he got a chance to know that he had a kid before he passed. I know that could be worse. See, when I want to fix this glass, I go to the wrong side. This is backwards. I want to fix this side. So hopefully he at least, got to see pictures or something over. But he's on panel 13E, line 95. Hopefully I will not forget any of those. I didn't forget to write them. A couple times I had to go back because I was writing so fast. But I try not to remember any of those shout outs so you can go back and go find them. All right, 20 minutes in, we're on number 5. We're doing good. We might hit 15. Like I said, the first pictures are not good, so they get better. All right, this is the 5th person on the list. Charles Edward. Let's see if I can get Charles Edward's face in there. There's too much glare. Come on, Charles. I want y'all to see his face. Let me zoom in. Maybe that'll help. There we go. There we go. I want y'all to see what he looks like. I don't want him to look like a ghost. He looked pretty mean in that one, didn't he? There's a couple. There's some paragraph. This one isn't that long of a paragraph, I don't think. Okay, this was SP4. First, I was always thinking it was Special Forces, but I actually don't. Because I think SP4 means something. SP means something different. I thought it was Special Forces, but I don't think so. SP4, Charles Edward Red Aaron. Now, I am a descendant of Aarons. My mom's maiden name is Aaron. My grandparents on my mom's side were Aarons. I didn't have any of my family members on here that I thought I would. I thought I had some, but I guess I don't. But this is Charles Edward Red Aaron, born December 12th, 1948 in Melrose, Massachusetts. I'm saying that correctly. I had a friend from Massachusetts, so I know how to say it. It's not Massachusetts, Massachusetts. Don't let me say the SUICIDE word either, because I think you can get in trouble. There's a couple of those in there, and I'll try to say a different way if I can catch it before I say it. Died May the 5th, 1970. He was 21 in Binh Thong, Vietnam. He is SP4 Company B, 1st Battalion, 50th Infantry Mechanic. I can't remember. I don't know what SP. I had to look that up. He died during an armored personnel carrier hit a landmine crossing a stream. That's an awful way to go. West of Binh Thong Province. He's on panel 11W, line 98. That's terrible. Right over. There's a lot of landmines in there. Explosive devices is the main one. Small arms fire, but there's a lot of landmines, and there's some bad ones there. I wish I could do. I might end up doing one of these videos while I'm writing them, because I want y'all to see my reaction when I read them. I already know what happened, but some of them I didn't tear up, but some of them really hurt, and it's not going to be the same because I've already read it. But if you guys would have seen it live, so I might do a live read one day. Let's see how this goes. All right, let's go with number 6. This is PFC Eugene Allen Aaron. Go this way. Gotta zoom in again. His face isn't coming on there very well. There we go. His face is still really, really white. Eugene Allen Aaron, born March 11, 1951 in Tampa, Florida. He died September 5th, 1970. He was 19 in Binh Dinh, Vietnam. He was of the E Troop, 17th Cavalry, 17th Airborne Brigade, U.S. Army Reserve. While on patrol, his APC detonated a landmine and caught fire. This is one of the first bad ones. Detonated a landmine and caught fire. He was ambushed, and he died burning inside the APC. That's awful. I mean, if he would have came out, he would have got shot. So, I mean, which one do you want? Burning alive's got to be awful. He was. I didn't write everybody's commendations because that would have took me forever. But like the specific Bronze Stars, Silver Stars, Medal of Honor, I will write those down. I did wrote down Purple Hearts for a while, but pretty much everyone's got a Purple Heart because it was all injured. So I'll get better as I go. But he got the Bronze Star. Does he have a clover? Let me see. I don't know what I wrote. Anyway, he got the Bronze Star. Oh, it says Merit. He got the Bronze Star. He's on panel 7W, line 43, if you want to look him up. All right, let's go to the next one. Why are these faces all like ghosty? They will get better. That's a good picture there. I got it at the right angle. This PFC Michael Peter Aaron, born March 30th, 1947 in Dallas, Texas. He died August 14th, 1968. He was 21 and Tua Thinh Hue, Vietnam. He was a private in Company L, 26th Marine Division Rifleman, KOA. KIA. Why do I keep writing KOA? It was KIA. There was no information. I had nothing on him. That's all I got. He was just KOA. I didn't get KIA. He didn't get any. I don't have any other information. I researched further. I looked. He's on panel 18W, line 10, if you want to look him up. All right, I'm going to get past these thinking pictures. All right, let's go to the next one. This one, I think this one was a rough one too, if I remember correctly. Oh, that's a good picture. I got him zoomed in. Yes, as long as I zoom in, it's not too bad. Okay, this is Captain Richard Allen Aaron, born January 2nd, 1943 in Washington, D.C. He died February 6th, 1971. He was 28. I just have Vietnam. He was in the LHU LA-1. It's a Chinook helicopter. 8 people were killed in the crash. It was a non-hostile, which is even worse because you go over there and don't even die of you die of accidents. It was a 123rd Aviation Company, 16th Aviation Group, 23rd Infantry Division. So he died in a helicopter crash. That's all the information I had. A lot of these won't give information purposely, classified stuff. You'll see there is some special forces in here. That's all they give me is that he died in a helicopter crash. Eight different people, including him. He's on panel 5W, line 80, if you want to look him up. go to. Oh, let's see how many more do I have of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I have like 5 or 6 more. I don't know what happened to that picture. Hold on. I don't know. Somehow or another I double screenshotted. Okay, that's crazy. I would just skip that one. I mean, not the person. I meant the picture. I'm not gonna miss anybody. I'm gonna get all 58,000 plus people. All right, this is good. This is like his prom picture or his high school yearbook picture. I'm sure it's what it looks like to me. I can get the right angle, get the glare off of it. It looks like his yearbook picture. Good picture. There, Thomas. This is SP4 Thomas Milton Aaron Jr. Born June 9th, 1948, 4 days after my birthday, in Linwood, Pennsylvania. He died June 13th, so he died 4 days after his birthday. In 1969, he was 21. King Hoa, Vietnam. He was in Unit B, Company 3rd Battalion, 47th Infantry, 9th Division, U.S. Air Force Reserve. See, I'm going to get better at reading those off. Died from small arms fire. He was awarded the Bronze Star with Oak Leaf Cluster and an Army Commendation Medal with Oak Leaf Cluster. I don't know how he got it. It didn't say, but that's good. That's good. I mean, I'm glad he got those. He's in panel 22W, line 37. If you guys can comment if I need more, or if I'm doing enough, or if I'm going too fast. You guys rate me as we go so I can get better. Rate me as we go so I can get better. Okay. This is definitely a kid picture. This cannot be the picture. See how old he was? There's no way this kid's picture is 19. He has had to have been like 12. There's no. I mean, I'll let y'all see, but there's no way. This is number 10. Tell me this. There's no way that kid is 19 years old. He's got to be a teenager, middle school picture. Come on now. Anyway, I'm joking with their names. I hope they understand what we're doing. They feel in the, what am I trying to say? Not the physical sense, but in like the spiritual sense. I hope they know what we're doing. They laughing along with us. Okay, this is PFC William F. Aronson the fourth, born August the 5th, 1951, in Oakland Park, Florida. Died January 18, 1971. He was 19. Not that picture. In Binh Dinh, Vietnam. So there's a lot of those. He was in the 528th Maintenance Company. No source of death. I didn't have nothing. There was no information anywhere. Panel 5W, line 54. If I was spent a day, I might have dug something up, but I would have been having to find people's names. If this gets big enough one day and I have extra people helping me, we might get a little further into it, like talking to family and stuff. But that's ways off. All right, we're 27 minutes in. We're doing good. Let's try to get to 20. That was number 10. That was a movie screenshot. I was like, what am I doing? That was a screenshot. All right, here's where I started screenshotting from the phone. So the picture should get way better from here on out. We knocked out the first 10. This isn't a bad one, but it's rough enough one. All right, this is the next one. You'll see how much better the pictures are. See what I mean? That they all look like this now. That's all the screenshots look just like that. Way better pictures. You see how I was messing up. Okay, this is Lance Corporal David Kim Asen, A-A-S-E-N, Asen, born April 1st, 1944, in Little Fork, Minnesota. He died August 22nd, in 1967. He was 23. He died in Quang, Vietnam. He was Echo Company, 2nd Battalion, 1st Marine Regiment, 1st Marine Division. He detonated a hostile booby trap mine while on patrol. Died from fragments to the head, chest, abdomen while on the USS Sanctuary. He was moved to the ship, which is the Navy corpsman ship with the big red cross on it. The USS Sanctuary. He died later there. He didn't die on the mine, but he died on the ship when they flew him out there. He's on panel 25E, line 27. If you want to look him up. These are going pretty good. I think we should stick to 20. That way I can have a little ramble time in there and I'm not just blowing through them, and I'm not trying to do 10, having to have conversations to keep the time going. But if we do 20, I can commentate in between. Okay, let's go to the 12th one here. That's a good picture. Looks like Ricky Valentine. You know, if y'all know who Ricky Valens is, the musician. This is Sergeant Jose Jean Abara. This helps when my writing's bad. I can see their name. Abrea, born 15 May 1945 in the Philippines. That's all the information is. Just that he was born in the Philippines. He died February 7th, 1968. He was 22 in Con Tum, Vietnam. He was assigned as a helicopter flight mechanic on a mission to rescue the wounded when it was hit by hostile ground fire and it exploded. Awful, awful, awful. I can't wait to get those two or three. I mean, still hit me. He's on panel 37E, line 76. If you want to look him up. Thank you, Mr. Richard. All right, let's go to number 14. We are rolling, and that'll give me a little bit of time to talk when it's over. That's a good picture of Richard here. Look at that great picture. Every one of these pictures are on there. If you want to look them up yourself, reading them, you can just go into that wall of faces and type in the name that I say, and you can look them up. And you can. There's not much information on there. It just has this little bit with maybe a line or two below it. You got to go in deeper into finer grave and stuff to actually get good information. This just gives the basic, but it's a start. Okay, what are we on here? This is number 14. Yes, this is Sergeant Rosario Russell Abate, born August 11th, 1943 in New York. He died April 17th, 1967. He was 23. It just says Vietnam. I don't know where. He was in A Company 864th Engineering Brigade, U.S. Army Reserve Engineering Command. I'm gonna do one thing while we're. This is not a good one. I'm gonna do one thing real quick. I'm take 30 seconds to take a breath. We're gonna go over his one more time because it's not got a good ending. I had to do one thing there. Okay. Where was I at here? Mr. Abate. Okay, yeah. Here we go. He died from a this is how they wrote it. Died from self-destruction, accident, non-hostile. Self-destruction accident. So I was thinking if he had done took his own stealth, they wouldn't write self-destruction. So my assumption is he might have took himself using a grenade or something. That's god awful. I forgot about this one. God awful. So I really feel for Richard. He must have had a really hard time. He's on panel 18E, line 38. If you want to get on there and request them to scrape his name on the little piece of paper, they will do it. I don't know if it cost anything. I didn't get that far into it. I just seen that they do that. Now this person looks just like my ex-brother-in-law. Looks just like him. We're on number. What are we on here? Rosario. We're on 14. This is 14. Yeah. Did I just read the wrong one? Did I miss one? Uh-oh. I'm not gonna miss one, so let's go ahead and fix it. Okay, we got the helicopter. I see what I did. So it was Corporal Richard Clark. I missed one. Let's go back. We're going to get it right. I'm not going to mess up again. That was Richard Clark, the picture we've seen. We will fix this. This gives us time to fix it. Richard Clark. This was not the one that did the self-infliction. So let's get that right. This is Richard Clark Abate, born May 28, 1947, Elmore Park, Illinois. Died May 18, 1968. 20 years old, Quang Nam, Vietnam. 3rd Battalion, 27 Marine Regiment, 1st Marine Division, 2311 ammunition technician. No info on death. Did receive a Purple Heart. He's on panel 62E, line 15. So let's get that correct. That's Richard Clark Abate. Somehow or another, I skipped 13, and I don't know why. Now this one, well, this is bad because this one actually was the one that looked like my brother-in-law. This one is the Sergeant Rosario Russell Abate, born August 11, 1943 in New York. Died April 17, 1967, 23 in Vietnam. A Company 864th Engineering Brigade, U.S. Army Reserve Engineer Command. Died from self-destructive accident, non-hostile. Panel 18E, line 38. That's the one that actually, I think, used a grenade. Sounds like. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to mix those up. So the first one was the Corporal Richard Clark, Purple Heart recipient. The second one was the Rosario. All right, let's go to number 15. trying to make that mistake again. I have a lot of writing on here. This is number 15. We got 5 more, 6 more technically. This here is Sergeant John Benjamin Abate-Marco. Abbatemarco. Abate-Marco. I think that's correct. Sergeant John Benjamin Abate-Marco. Abate-Marco. Born March 24th, 1949 in Hackensack, New Jersey. What a name, right? Isn't that? I've heard of Hackensack before. Is that close? That's Poxadermy. That's where I think that's close to where he's at. Died May 13th, 1970. He was 21. He died in Cambodia. He was an HHC, 1st Battalion, 12th Cavalry. This is when my writing started getting squiggly, because I was doing a lot of them. 1st Cavalry Division, U.S. Army Reserve. Died from gunshot wound to the chest by hostile fire during an incursion into Cambodia. Panel 10W, line 30, if you want to look him up. You could tell after I've been doing this for a while that I started getting a little squirrely on some of these lines, and I was writing at different angles. But the ones I did tonight, I actually wrote sitting at his desk, so they look a lot better. That needs to get out of here. I see him flying around. Okay, number 16. I thought he was just on the microphone. Get a picture there of Donald. Number 16 is PFC Donald Paul Abbey. Born October 24th, 1948 in Sacramento, California. Died September 12th, 1968. He was 19 in Binh Dong, Vietnam. Like I said, a bunch of them. B Company, 2nd Battalion, 2nd Infantry, 1st Infantry Division, U.S. Army Reserves. It only states he died of hostile other explosive device. That's all it said. Hostile other explosive device. So it could have been a grenade, could have been a landmine. I don't know. It didn't really specify. Either way, he died from explosives. So that's bad enough as it is. He is on panel 44W, line 34. Yeah. All right. We still got a couple more, and then we'll just discuss them. Really, the only one so far is that self-inflicted one that's really bad. I think I haven't. This next one, this number 18, not this one, but the one after, has got the long line. So that has a lot. That has a serious thing in it. All right, let's look at this. This looks like his picture looks like one of those pictures you get when they draw baseball players, and like you get the bubblegum pack, you get the crayon version of the baseball player, like one of them old cards. That's what it looks like. Okay, this is SP4 Carroll David Abbott. He was born January 18, 1945 in Sevierville, Tennessee, which is where Dollywood's at. What's those stinking towns called? Y'all know what I'm talking about. The nice, you don't know. He died October 29th, 1966. He was 21. Died in Vietnam is all it says. B Company, 2nd Battalion, 8th Infantry, 4th Infantry Division, U.S. Army Reserve. Died from hostile small arms gunfire, which that's the majority of these is just gunfights. He's on panel 11E, line 125, if you want to look him up. This one we're going to spend a little bit more time on because there's a lot more on here. This also looks like a high school picture. Good picture, though. I think this might have been the Special Forces guy. I'm not sure. If it was or not, I can't remember. But I'm going to pull this up because this will take a minute. A little longer, not a minute. A little bit longer than the other ones. This is SP5 David Francis Abbott. He was born September 27, 1948 in Newport News, Virginia. He died November the 2nd, 1969. He was 21. He died in Tay Ninh, Vietnam. He was a 2nd Brigade, 1st Cavalry Division. Helicopter crew chief. He was a helicopter crew chief on a recon mission. His helicopter was hit by a B-40 rocket and crashed. 2 years before, his father, LCDR Leo C. Hester Sr., it's a different name, but it's his father, was killed when his U.S. Navy VC-475 crashed after losing a wing. 14 died in that crash. The Hesters are one of 3 pairs of father-sons killed in Vietnam. So nowhere near the other 2, but this like read the names again. David Francis Abbott and his dad, Leo C. Hester Sr., are one of the only 3 pairs of father-sons that were killed in Vietnam. That's Just awful. He's on panel 16W, line 16, if you want to look him up. That's just awful. Right? Did it say his dad was 2 years before him? I gotta go back and look that up again. I can't remember. It said 2 years before, 2 years after. 2 years before. So his dad died 2 years before, so he knew that his dad had passed, and 2 years later he died. Insane. Just terrible. All right, let's do number 19 and 20, and we'll probably call it for this video. Here's the next one. Looking real mischievous in that picture. I'll know when I get a little closer into them if they're going to be bad or not. This is PFC Dennis Eugene Abbott, born July 15th, 1943. I want to be correct on everything I say because I don't want someone to go there and say it's not true. If I've seen it, I wrote it. I don't want to say it wrong. In Somerville, New Jersey. Died April 22nd, 1966. He was 21. In GIA, Vietnam. U.S. Army Company A, 35th Infantry. Died from a sneak attack by Viet Cong on his camp near PLEUK. I don't know what that group, whatever there was at their camp. Received Combat Infantry Badge, Bronze Star, Purple Heart, National Defense Medal. See, that's why I started writing all these medals. Vietnam Campaign Medal and Vietnam Cross of Gallantry. Palm Unit Citation. See, I shouldn't have wrote all that. I should have just kept it Bronze Star, but it's okay. And a Combat Infantry Badge, but I mean, that just, you get a badge when that's what you pass your school. Like I got one for being an airman. He's on panel 65, line 129, if you want to look him up. All right, let's do the 20th one for this video, and we will just discuss them a little bit and call it. I appreciate every one of these guys, every single one of them. We're here because of their sacrifice. This is PFC Edward Donald Abbott, born October 8, 1949, in Sutter County, California. He died May 6, 1968. He was 18, awful, in Binh Dong, Vietnam. I did show the picture right. There was no info given, so there's only 2 or 3 out of 165. I had no info at all, so I have nothing. He's on panel 55E, line 37. For some reason, there's no info. I don't know if it's special, secret, or other reasons. Let me mark where we're at. I should know we're on 20, but that's our stopping point. The next video we'll do 20 more. Since I'm so far ahead, I might do it this week, or I might wait till next week so I can get a little further ahead, because to write 20 a day takes a couple hours. Because it's not just rereading them as fast, but I've already put in the time to look these people up. It takes a little time to get it. Plus, I'm running a business and doing stuff at home and taking care of a friend all at the same time, and spending time with my kids out of the state. So I'm a busy person. But if we get snowed in again or something, I'll have plenty of time. I hope we don't get no more snow. But anyway, I appreciate all these guys. We honor them. We honor them by speaking of them. And when this is all over, I will always keep these books. I may not keep all their pictures because my phone's not going to hold that many, but I'll always keep their memories in these booklets. I'll always have them. And I appreciate you guys listening. This is the very first video, very first introduction. So if you're here, like, subscribe, comment, whatever you want to, what I can do better besides cleaning the mess up behind me. Sorry about that. Whatever I can do better. And like, subscribe. If you subscribe, then you'll get the notifications whenever the next video comes up, and you guys can follow along and listen to every single one of these. And I'll try not to ramble as much, unless you guys like listening to my voice, which some people might. But anyway, I appreciate you guys on the first video. I will see you guys on the next one. Technically on the flip side, because this is the flip side of Mud, and Mud is my last name. And have a good rest of your night. Kentucky beat Tennessee, by the way. If you watch the introduction video, I was watching the game first. Go Cats. Go Big Blue.